Like most kids, I ran around a lot growing up. Running is almost as instinctive as laughing or breathing. Kids will run just for the heck of it. Jimmy, I'm going to show you this rock. Come quick. Ah! I played soccer and sports at school, but in my younger years I never ran. It was my old man who used to run 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 a.m, 5 kilometers around the neighborhood. One morning in high school, I said I would join him. Man, getting up at 6 a.m. is hard. I got to our meeting spot at 6:02, a little patio out the front of the house. My shoes were there and his were gone. I was late, so he'd left. Later at breakfast, I said, "Dad, you left without me?" He said, "I assumed you weren't coming." I was never late for a run after that. I started running with him, and after a few months I was faster than he was, and that felt good. I was running 5 kilometers in about 22 minutes. In the last year of high school, we decided to train for a 10K together. This was big for us. It ran Riverside in South Bank, Brisbane, and finished in the River Stage Arena. It was my first race. I ran 47 minutes. I loved the atmosphere. I left high school and started working in a big building in the city. We started a running group with colleagues and would run a loop of the river after work once or twice a week. This was the first time I'd felt a social connection through running. A few of us signed up to the Bridge to Brisbane, a 10-kilometer over several of Brisbane's bridges. No surprises there. I sent an invitation to our little work running group on my work laptop, but I ended up sending the invitation to the entire firm, the partners, the directors, every single staff. My work friends gave me credit for mum. On the day of the event, I ran the first half with one of the girls from work. Spoiler, she later turns out to be my partner and the love of my life. But she told me to leave her alone in the second half of the race, so I ran off. I finished in 46 minutes. I also started doing park runs that year. I ran a sub 25 kilometers in my first park run. I loved it. The whole separate video about my love of park run. My partner and I left our big building in the city and went overseas. We ran all over the place, from Hong Kong to Holland. Not like the whole way, Hong Kong to Holland. We ran in Hong Kong and then later in the Netherlands. Running became our main form of exercise while we traveled. We just needed a pair of shoes and a safe neighborhood, and we could run anywhere. Each new place, I just wanted to run, to see more of the area, to explore. We signed up to a marathon in Frankfurt, a whole separate video about my marathon experience, but the challenge of training for the marathon was incredible. By this point, running had become a staple in my life. I ran 3 to 4 times a week. One of my favorite routes was around the farmlands of Outer Geneva in Switzerland. I ran past the cows and the sheep and the occasional fox. The mountains sat like guardians overlooking the lowlands and Lac de Genève. I did a half marathon event around the lake. I ran 1:34. Running helped me clear my mind, and it helped me to think, to solve problems, and to reflect. Last year, 2022, back in Australia, I got back into the park runs. I'd missed them dearly. I ran 19 minutes, then 18 minutes. I ran a 10K at the GC Marathon in 2022 and ran 37 minutes. I ran Bridge to Brisbane a month later and ran 35 minutes. Something was happening. I wasn't too shabby at this running thing. I joined a running group with awesome athletes and a great coach. They had so much knowledge and experience, so much that could help me improve. This year, I've never run so much in my life. In 2022, I ran 1,400 kilometers. I've run 1,700 kilometers this year. It's June. The PBs kept on coming. My 5 kilometers dropped to 17 minutes and then 16:07 by March. I ran 34:54 in a 10K in February and later 34:08 in a training run in May. I did 1:15:57 in a half marathon in April and 51:28 in a 15K in May. This has been the most enjoyable marathon training run. I wake up at 5 a.m. all the time now. I've run 840 kilometers over 10 weeks. I've done speed work on the track, weekly hill sessions, and long runs. Just got longer and better and longer. My longest run was 36 kilometers. This is the fittest I've ever been, and the healthiest I've ever felt. Sometimes when I run, I feel so tired and heavy and sluggish and gross. That thought of coffee at the end is the only thing that helps me through. But mostly, I feel light and free, like I'm flying. Sometimes when I run, I listen to podcasts. Sometimes I listen to cinematic music that gives me chills and I pretend I'm the main character in a movie. Sometimes I just listen to the world. But maybe after all, it just goes back to being a kid.
Mom, can I get ice cream? Ah!
That's why I run. Why do you run?